I definitely have an attitude about life that's kind of like, if you say I can't do it, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it 10 times better than you could have imagined. I think I've always been that way, but I think the thing about my injury has been like, people really doubt what I'm able to do, and I want nothing more than to like absolutely stomp on their hopes and dreams of me not being able to do it, and prove that like anything is possible. From where I'm sitting, it just may look different. Good job. Good job, dude. Usually take him 3 times a day, but like at night, I'll usually take him on like a long walk. And then if it's not too hot, I'll take him on a couple long walks a day, but it's too hot lately. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, come on. Let's go. Hi, my name is Lindsey. I am an ICU nurse, an adventure addict, a bicycle junkie, and I have an adrenaline problem. So I grew up athletic my whole life. I've played probably every sport under the sun since I was 3. Anything that I could do that involved movement, I did. And got into biking when I moved to Arizona in 2010. I actually had gotten into road biking, and funny enough, started working at a bike shop just because I loved it so much, and all my guy friends there, they'd make fun of me for being a road biker, and managed to pull me out onto the trails, and that's how I got into mountain biking. The first time I went out, even though it was like kind of the dumbest, flattest, nothing to it trail, I just had so much fun. It was so freeing to be out in the dirt, and that one experience just molded me and changed me into a mountain biker, and I'm pretty sure like 2 or 3 weeks later, I sold my road bike. The day that it happened?
The day that it happened.
Oh, geez. Yeah, so the day that my accident happened, I had been having like an awesome day on my bike. Just hitting every drop like flawlessly and just feeling really good. And I had it in my mind that I was gonna hit this drop because it was kind of the next progression from what I had done. And probably like 5:30 in the evening, lifts closed at 6. I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I told one of my friends at the bottom, I was like, I'm going up to hit reef. All my friends are great. They were really encouraging. I had a friend who was like, yeah, I'll tow you in. We had this whole plan to do it, and went up, and I was feeling good, but I just went off with not enough speed and managed to catch my front tire and catapult myself over my bike.
Shit.
What could have been like a very routine crash just happened to end somewhat tragically, and I think it was kind of a freak thing that I broke my back, but yeah. I surprisingly never lost consciousness. I knew everything that happened, and I just had this really weird feeling. I was laying there and I felt like my legs were to the side of me, and I looked down and they were laying flat, and I went and I touched them. I was like tapping on my legs and I couldn't feel them, and that was the moment where I kind of started to panic a little bit, and I looked around and was like, I just need somebody to tell me that this isn't what's happening. So when I was injured and still in the hospital, there was no question in my mind that I was going to get back on a bike. It was a matter of when, not if. It started with me just getting on like a road bike at the rehab hospital. And then within, I would say 1 or 2 years, I was back on a 3-wheeled mountain bike, which is fun, but for me wasn't quite the same experience as mountain biking prior to. And then I think it was probably 2017 or 2018 when a friend of mine who actually also suffered a spinal cord injury told me about how he built his bike up with a monoski bucket and a motor. And he was like, let's get you one built. And so I gave him the bike that I crashed on and broke my back on and was like, let's do it. So mountain biking, it takes a village now, and that's only because I am strapping myself completely into this bike. So it takes somebody like picking me up and putting me on the bike, helping to clip my feet in. I can usually get myself strapped in, and then it's a little game of catch and release. So at the top of the mountain, somebody will hold me, I hit my motor and go, and there's just a prayer that I don't fall, because if I fall, I don't know if I can make it up there.
You're good.
I can't steer. Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
Wow, they did make those lippier. We're just rolling things now. You good, you good. We pretty much just run the trails all the way through, so top to bottom, which is usually exhausting for my friends because they like to take breaks in the middle. And I have a motor, so I don't have to do that. But it comes down to at the very end of the trail, I'll usually have a friend who's following go in front of me so that they can catch me at the bottom if there's not something for me to catch myself on, and then rinse and repeat. There was an assassination attempt. Ha! That was the sketchiest I've ever felt. You were so lucky you were in front. I landed on my nose and somehow rode it out twice. Prior to my injury, I think a lot of success for me was meeting the next goal or doing the next thing. That feeling for me of, okay, I hit this drop and now I need to hit the next drop in order to be a good mountain biker, was kind of the catalyst for me getting hurt. And I can't say I'm not still like that. I still have that in me. It's the highly competitive side of me, but for me now, success is so much more about being happy and being content with what I'm doing. I've tried to reel back the need to do something measurable to feel like I've been successful. Now it's in my everyday life. Am I happy with what I'm doing with life? Am I going out with friends and creating memories as opposed to creating metrics? And so I feel so much more fulfilled getting to do those things and really, like I said, creating memories and knowing that whether I slide into the grave, you know, off my mountain bike tomorrow, or it happens when I'm 85 and this body finally gives up, I've created a life and full of just happiness and good memories with people. I'm scared. Well, I think my favorite part about mountain biking now is that the feeling of riding a two-wheel bike hasn't changed from before. So the feeling of hitting a berm, like I can still maybe not lean into it quite as nicely as I was, but like that feeling of going through is still the exact same. It's translated almost completely. It's that freedom of being out in the woods, and like you just kind of don't think about anything else when you're out there. You're just thinking about, you know, the next bit of trail and how much air you can get off the jump, or how that berm's gonna feel, or I don't know. It's complete freedom. Biggest thing that I've learned from this, and the biggest piece of advice that I could give to somebody who might be going through a life-changing injury, illness, what have you, is that if you've made it through a tragedy like this, life doesn't stop. it it keeps going, and there's so much life left to live. And you have two options, and it's lay down and die, sit on the couch, cry, and feel bad for yourself, or figure it out, get out there and do things the way you were doing them before, keep doing what you love, and realize that life can still be just as fulfilling. It's just gonna look different. And I think one of the hardest truths to face is that, and pardon my French, but life doesn't give a fuck about the trauma you've been through. And it's gonna keep going whether you're going with it or not. So you might as well just keep going with it and keep doing what you love. And I promise you it's just as fulfilling, if not more. Oh, good job. Good job. Good job. Oh, I know. I'm so sorry. The big bad people put you in the room and you were all alone for like 5 minutes. I'm so sorry. And this is why everybody needs a golden retriever.